It's not about everything that I just put in that box. It really isn't. That's just the arena. The show is the microbes and the worms. If I lived in an apartment, then if I didn't have access to all of this stuff, I guess what I would do is I would try, even if it was in a city block, if there's somewhere where the leaves are piled in the corner and they've been there long enough that they've kind of turned to dirt, if there's a park, sterile products off of the shelf at a store. It's better than nothing. It's not the worms that sets all this off, it's the microbes. Even if I did have to buy all of my materials off the shelf, I'd find a way to inoculate it. We're conditioned to forget about the microbes and just buy stuff off the shelf, feed, 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 grow, 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 kill, get another one. Start over, feed, 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 grow, 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 kill. Everybody has to walk their own path, I guess, when it comes to this sort of stuff. I hope I can convey in some little way how amazing it is to be part of that bigger thing. The forest floor is a living place filled with unimaginable diversity. But this isn't a forest floor. This is a brand new worm box, all set and ready to go. All of the minerals that are in this box will get stuck to the body of the microbes, and the worms will eat both and crush them in their gizzard. So everything that I've put in this box today, after it goes through the worm, after it's all crushed in the gizzard, when it comes out the other end, all of these particles are water-soluble, and a plant can readily absorb them. I've scouted all around the backyard looking for the best place to put the box. Sometimes it takes a second for the obvious to show itself. I sit here constantly. I like to sit here and work. I like to sit here and rest. So it seems obvious that this would be the perfect spot to put the box. I think this is going to be a nice spot. I love that I'm on the inside of the edge of the woods. Because I'm on the edge of the woods, the ground is already full of microbes. This ground is a little bit uneven, so I'm going to use the forest floor beneath to create a flat spot, and this will be a fantastic foundation for the box. I'm also happy to see that it's moist, but I'll probably still wet it down a little more. I'm not going to break this loose, but this, attached to this root, this is an aggregate. This is basically a condominium full of fungi and bacteria. That whole thing with photosynthesis, where the plants make sugar, and they send that sugar out through their roots to the bacteria, and they ask the bacteria to bring it minerals. Here are the minerals. These colonies of bacteria and fungi, as long as the plant continues to produce and give sugar, as long as there's moisture, these microbes will continue to bring nutrients to all of the plants in this area. I'm going to leave this aggregate, and we'll put the worm box right on top of it. Okay, let's go get the box. Actually, let's water, just a little. We'll give this about 10 minutes.
Miles and miles on the clear blue sky. We drive straight as an arrow flies. Nowhere to be, no dreams to chase tonight. We've got
think I should have come in backward. Ooh. Pivot. I'll kick it off with a thick layer of leaves that I took from the forest floor. I'm not trying to make this soppy wet. I'm just looking for a general uniform moisture. Top to bottom, side to side, corner to corner. Everything the same. If I picked up a handful and squeezed it, maybe a drip would come out. This is finished compost. Unfortunately, I let this pile dry out, and that was a huge mistake, because had I kept the moisture on point, it would be full of worms, and it would be mission accomplished as far as populating that box. If I just used forest litter for the complete bedding, it would work. Doing a few runs this way now, it's been my experience that just using sand, silt, and clay makes a very dense final product. The last time I filled the O box, I was running low on compost, so I went heavy on the sand, silt, clay, and leave. And the first time I filled bags for customers out of that run, I was shocked at the difference in weight. And that difference in weight is a difference in particle size, and that means compaction. Now I know if I don't have enough fresh compost on hand, I shouldn't harvest the box until I do. This is where I want to be careful not to overwater. Microbes, worms, all of those creatures use moisture as their mode of transportation. Another layer of leaves. This is the edge of my garden. The beets are doing just fine. See this wire? It runs the full length. The only way I'm able to grow at all is to put wire around all sides of my food. This soil was pushed up by a gopher. We're at the end of one of my garden rows. When I picked up the leaf litter, I was over next to the creek, so I got a lot of sand and silt. This will have more of a clay base. I'm also going to grab some of those chips on the edge of the aisle. These guys, these night crawlers, they don't do well in the box at all. At all. So these guys, I always pull them back out and just let them go. When I say they don't do well, I mean they die. I made this biochar pit years ago. Oh, ants. Oh, well, I got my pants tucked in. Woo! Anybody's looking for. Ugh. Okay, I guess I'll skip the biochar. Shoo-wee. Thank goodness I got out of that deal. Every time my ants show up, that means something got too dry. So I'll soak this down and they'll move. This is the last of the compost. I'm introducing worms, so I want to feed the box, but I don't want to overfeed it. If the food doesn't get eaten, it will ferment, and that's not good for worms. But even without a lot of worms present now, the microbes will still go to work as soon as I cover this stuff up. We're going to find some worms, but it'll take them a while to fill a space this size. Here's some of their favorite things to get them started. There are multiple ways of feeding a worm box. What I'm doing here is called the trench method. It just seems to be what I always fall into. I could have also chosen to fill this box halfway, and then I would have fed only one side till that side was finished, and then I would have filled the other side and migrated the worms over. This is called the wedge system. This is coffee. I like a leaf cap. It seems like the most natural thing possible. Eggshell. Seeds. Sometimes, usually I use hemp meal. I'm out. Eggshells and the meal, it's not about the worm so much as it is those tiny particles are all kinds of surface area for microbes. Believe it or not, even these little particles, that's kind of big for a worm's mouth. The worm is coming for the microbes. This isn't a ton of worms, probably not even 100, most definitely not a pound. It's enough. Okay, that should do it. So it will give them a few days to settle in, and then we'll make any adjustments needed. If I had my own animals, I would absolutely be using their manure. I've learned to work without it because I had a really bad experience outsourcing it, and I killed 2 really long, really full beds of worms. But that was a sad time, and that was a hard blow, and horrible for the worms. But out of that came this whole new way. It was walking up on those beds and smelling all those dead worms. You know, as soon as you smell it, what's happened that has been catastrophic. And I don't know, something about that moment awakened within me finally a true understanding of widening my margins on the fact that everything is alive. A very diverse and very competitive ecosystem. Taking care of that box is not that unlike taking care of any of my other pets. I'll feed it, I'll water it, and I'll change it. Thanks for watching. See ya. It's been an interesting journey. I wouldn't trade it, but I still feel bad about killing those worms. If it's any consolation to them, though, their sacrifice changed everything.
I wandered for miles all around. Dawn had left me sunset bound. The old